So Jimmy Kimmel had a viral moment on his show last night. I have to say, I'm not a big fan of late night TV in general, but insofar as I watch any of it and I like any of the hosts, I would have to say that Jimmy Kimmel's my favorite. I have a well-known burning, passionate hatred for Jimmy Fallon. I like Jimmy Kimmel because he looks like he seriously does not give a fuck about his job. It's almost like he knows, like, yeah, I just talk to douchebags for a living, so I'm just going to go out here and be like, hey, what's up, guy? And I don't know, there's something that seems authentic about Kimmel versus the other people who feel like they're trying to play the role of late night host. And Colbert, I mean, I like Colbert, but Colbert you can't top his character on Comedy Central. So it's almost like they threw him in the deep water without teaching him how to swim, because he was this character, this fake conservative character for years, and then they go, okay, now you're going to be yourself on late night TV, and it's like, wait, I didn't sign on to that. I like Colbert as Colbert. Him as a normal person is like, I never even knew that was a thing. His whole public persona was the opposite. But anyway, I'm getting off on a random side rant here, but I kind of like Jimmy Kimmel, but Jimmy Kimmel spoke about a personal issue. He just had a newborn son, and the son has serious health complications. So he spoke a little bit about healthcare policy, and this is blowing up. Now, I can't show you the clip for copyright reasons, but I can read you exactly what he said. So he said the following, quote, I want to say one other thing. President Trump last month proposed a $6 billion cut in funding to the NIH. And thank God our congressman made a deal last night to not go along with that. They actually increased funding by $2 billion, and I applaud them for doing that, because more than 40% of the people who would have been affected by those cuts at the National Institute of Health are children, and it would have a major impact on a lot of great places, including Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, which is so unbelievably sad to me. We were brought up to believe that we live in the greatest country in the world, but until a few years ago, millions and millions of us had no access to health care at all. Before 2014, if you were born with congenital heart disease, like my son was, there was a good chance you'd never be able to get health insurance because you had a pre-existing condition. You were born with a pre-existing condition, and if your parents didn't have medical insurance, you might not live long enough to even get denied because of a pre-existing condition. If your baby is going to die and it doesn't have to, it should matter. I think it's supposed to say it shouldn't matter how much money you make. I think that's something that whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or something else, we all agree on that, right? I mean, we do. Whatever your party, whatever you believe, whoever you support, we need to make sure that the people who are supposed to represent us, the people who are meeting about this right now in Washington, understand that very clearly. Let's stop with the nonsense. This isn't football. There are no teams. We are the team. It's the United States. Don't let their partisan squabbles divide us on something every decent person wants. We need to take care of each other. I saw a lot of families there, and no parent should ever have to decide if they can afford to save their child's life. It just shouldn't happen. Not here. So anyway, thank you for listening. I promise I'm not going to cry for the rest of the show. So he teared up in the middle of that, which is understandable. I felt a little swell up there for a brief moment as well. Look, he's right that the people, regular people in the United States of America, I don't care what political affiliation they are, they go, yeah, what are we doing? If somebody's sick, you give them help. I don't know where the question is or where the controversy is. Here's the problem. In Washington, corruption rules the day. So you have the Democrats and the Republicans take money from Big Pharma. They take money from private health insurance companies, for-profit private health insurance companies, and they do their bidding. And those private health insurance companies, yes, they want to be able to deny care as much as possible, because the more you deny care, the more you're able to pad your bottom line and make profit. There's a fundamental, systemic, structural problem, incentive problem with a for-profit private health insurance company. And you're never going to really fix that problem until you have a different kind of system completely. So Jimmy Kimmel means well. He's mostly correct as to what he's talking about here. but I do need to issue one correction, and it's a very important correction. He said, and I'll repeat it, we were brought up to believe that we live in the greatest country in the world, but until a few years ago, millions and millions of us had no access to health care at all. No, Jimmy, today, still, millions and millions have no access to health care at all. Or at least they don't have access to health care that won't bankrupt them. And they don't have access to insurance, affordable insurance. So we need to not fall into this trap. Because the Republicans are so crazy, in Washington, I should be clear, your average Joe Republican actually kind of agrees with the progressive values on this. But because the Republican Party in Washington is so crazy, and they're so bought and owned by private health insurance, they're proposing a bill that cuts Medicaid by $880 billion, is a tax cut to the top 1% in the country, gives the top person in the top 1% $200,000 more per year, increases the uninsured rate from 10% to 19%. Because their plan is so bad, and yes, the Tea Party wants to get rid of protection for pre-existing conditions and go back. But because they're so extreme, a lot of well-meaning people have a tendency to say, whoa, 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 don't do that. Don't go in the wrong direction. And as long as you don't go in the wrong direction, then everything's okay. But Jimmy, that's actually not enough, believe it or not. Because the answer isn't keep everything as is, keep Obamacare as is, and then we're good. The answer is single-payer Medicare for all. Now, this is when people who are cynical roll their eyes and go, yeah, well, it's never going to happen. Why are we even bothering talking about that? Yeah, I'm sure if you talk to somebody in 1959 in Mississippi about whether or not segregation would end, they'd go, yeah, that's never going to happen. We have segregation now. We have it now. It's been here for a long time. It's never going to change. It's never going to change. Speak to a woman who couldn't vote before women's suffrage 3 years before. Hey, are you going to have the right to vote? What do you mean? I'm female. What kind of a question is that? Of course I'm not going to be able to vote. I'm a woman. Hello. But then guess what? You fight, and everybody says it's impossible, it's impossible, it's impossible. Then you start to move the needle, then you win, and then afterwards everybody turns around and they go, well, it was inevitable we were going to get that anyway. It's always how it goes. Civil rights is impossible. Oh, no, of course we're going to get civil rights. We got civil rights. That was inevitable. No, it wasn't. It was the hard work in between that got us to that point. So that's the point with Medicare for all, single payer. And it'd be great if somebody like Jimmy Kimmel and people with giant platforms can shed some light on that issue. Like he's shedding light on how shitty the cuts would be to the NIH and how shitty, a far-right Republican healthcare plan would be. But I wish he knew the reality about Medicare for all single payer, because today in the United States of America, 45,000 people die every year because they don't have access to basic healthcare. 45,000. Still have millions and millions of people who are uninsured. Medical bills is still one of the top causes of bankruptcy. So we're not there yet. We're the only modern nation that doesn't have one version or another of a single-payer system. So the answer is Medicare for all. H.R. 676. John Conyers proposed the bill in the House. It started with about 72 Congress people supporting it. Now, because of your hard work, the grassroots, regular people who just want to make everybody's life better, you moved it all the way up to about 104. Went from 72 to 104 because you worked really hard for it. So we just got to keep working. We just got to keep fighting. Go to justicedemocrats.com/single payer. Sign your name on the petition to get us Medicare for all single payer. Call your congressman if you haven't. By the way, if they're for it, call them and thank them. Give them positive reinforcement. Thank you for being for something that we view as non-negotiable, but unfortunately we got to drag so many corporate Democrats to that position. Thank them. They'd love to hear that. I mean, we're going to give them negative reinforcement when they do bad. In fact, if your congressman or woman doesn't support it, call them and say, we're going to vote you out. Simple as that. If you don't support it, you're done. Your career's over. Or if we do that, we should also do, oh, you're for it? Thank you. So do that. Let's throw our weight around, man. We got the numbers on our side. So let's keep fighting for it. And for somebody like Jimmy Kimmel, you know what? Here, send this video to him. Tweet it at him. Tweet this video. If you're listening to this, tweet it at him. Because I think if Jimmy Kimmel knew, hey, Medicare for all is the answer, then I think he would have brought that up in his speech. I think you would have said the real answer is to do Medicare for all. And the president said he supported that, at least 5 times on record publicly. So say, hey, we're going to hold you to your promise. Just like Representative Ro Khanna said. Read his quotes to him. Hey, remember when you said Canada has a great system and we should copy that one? That's it. Read it to him. Say, hey, what's going on here? Make the Democrats come to that position. Make the Republicans come to that position. We got to fight. We got to leverage. And as somebody with a giant platform, way bigger than mine, like Jimmy Kimmel, if he was on the page and he was an advocate for it, man, that would be absolutely incredible. So, very touching moment from Jimmy Kimmel. But the work is not done. The work is not done. It's not just, hey, let's stop this insane draconian far-right bill from getting through. The answer is, let's do an actual progressive bill instead of a center-right bill like we have now with Obamacare, Mitt Romney's bill, Bob Dole's bill, Richard Nixon's bill, Newt Gingrich's bill, the Heritage Foundation's bill, or law, I should say. Instead of an individual mandate, we got to go all the way, Medicare for all, single payer. Let's do it.